G'day guys, welcome to tonight's presentation. We're here in October. It's amazing how fast the year has flown by. And tonight we're all talking about Halloween, all right? October is the month of spookiness. And so tonight's theme is no bones about it. It's knowing your outside, your outside, pardon me, okay? So tonight what we're gonna be talking about is getting to know what's on the inside so you can be better on the outside. So I got a quick question for you to start with, all right? Do you know who this person is? All right, very, very famous man. Any guesses going out there? What if I told you he's one of the most important people in society? Okay, no, all right. What if I told you that you've read some of his stuff? Nah, still not getting there? Okay, let me give you a little bit more of a hint, okay? Do you know who these are? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, okay? All right, we know who these people are. We've got Thing 1, Thing 2, all right? We've got this world famous cat right here, the Cat in the Hat, okay? And what you're seeing here is Dr. Seuss, all right? So this gentleman just here was Dr. Seuss. So he is one of the most literary cherished people in society and in the history of the world when it comes to literary books for children, all right? But I want to tell you something. Did you know that this man loved chiropractic without even knowing about it? Bet you didn't know that, okay? Some simple facts about Dr. Seuss, all right? He sold more books than J.K. Rowling. That's incredible to think, right? Think about how big the Harry Potter franchise is. He sold more books than her. He served in World War II. He's actually won 2 Oscars and 2 Emmys, which is absolutely incredible, right? All right, that's pretty darn impressive. His most successful book was written as a bet from a friend, okay? His most successful book was One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, all right? And it was a bet. It was a bet knowing the fact of could you come up with a story or a rhyme or a book on nonsense? And he said, I can do it. And he lost, and his friend lost that bet, knowing the fact that he could do it. To us in the chiropractic world, he got chiropractic without even knowing about it. He did that through a book, all right? And that book was Inside Your Outside. It's all about the human body. And he started to talk about what chiropractic was all about and without even knowing about it, but just talking about the human systems and how it's all connected. And tonight, we're gonna walk you through it. So we're gonna jump on in. I'm gonna be talking about the Cat in the Hat. So tonight, I'm the Cat in the Hat. Welcome everyone, okay? I'm here to share the good news. From the tips of your hair to the toes in your shoes, your body is moving. It never stops going. Right now, your heart is beating. Right now, your blood is flowing. You may be sitting still, reading a book, but your body is busy. Come on, take a look. So tonight, we're going to jump inside one thing, all right? This thing is something that Dr. Seuss created in regards to it. It's the inside your outside machine, all right? So everyone jump on board. Let's take a trip. There's one easy way you can see what I mean. Take a ride in my inside your outside machine. Every ticket is free, and before we are through, you'll see inside me and I'll see inside of you. So for the chiropractic world, we like to use 2 things. We like to use X-ray and we like to use our thermal scans. Those 2 things here in our office are super important because it allows us to see inside your outside when it comes to your bones and your nervous system. And you're about to be walked through it in regards to it. So if we all jump inside our inside your outside machine, you're about to see why. Let's start at the top, all right? It is key. It controls all you do, helps you laugh, learn, and see. It makes your legs move when you run, jump, or walk. It makes your face move when you blink, smile, and talk. All right? What coordinates all that? Well, it's your brain. Okay, we know that through the chiropractic world. Dr. Seuss did it. He was just talking about the body systems. And kids were learning this all around the world in hundreds of different languages across many, many countries in regards to it. It sends information to all parts of you and does a million things no computer can do. Your brain never stops. It goes all day and night. Your brain has 2 sides, one left and one right. So you think about that. The brain is doing a million and one things no computer could ever do. And that's the premise of chiropractic here. So through inside your outside, what we're talking about is how your body is coordinated by your brain, and your body is sending messages back up to the brain for coordination. Think of it as an endless cycle, all right? Just like a big supercomputer does. You've got the hard drive, you've got all of the whiz-bang things like the keyboard, the mouse, and the screen. It needs the information. The information is that hard drive. That brain is the hard drive, and it does a million and one things that a computer could never do, as Dr. Seuss just said. The spine has a spinal cord running inside it, a bunch of nerves which will help move and guide it. There are bones down your back that are all in line. They help you stand up and are known as the spine. So those nerves that are talking throughout the body have to be protected, all right? I like to call the nervous system the instrument of life, all right? Play an instrument, it needs to be finely tuned in regards to it. Well, the thing that protects that instrument has got to be a case, right? You wouldn't just walk around with, a nice saxophone, just bumping into things and smashing it and throwing it around. You need a case. That's your spine. Dr. Seuss said, nerves are like wires. They run inside of you. They let your brain know everything that you do. So we're talking about that nervous system. See what I mean? He had an idea. He was talking about it through the terms of the body in regards to the brain talking down to the body and the body up to the brain, knowing that our nervous system was coordinating everything. Here's another thing that he talked about in regards to it. You have 5 different senses which help your brain tell what you hear, how you taste, what you see and smell. Sniff a flower and pull sweet smells to your nose. Nerves to your brain say, "Hey, that's a rose." So think about that, all right? The things we take for granted about sniffing, smelling, tasting, all right, hearing, seeing, is all coordinated by the brain. So you think about the fact that the cat in the hat is talking here to, I believe her name was Lucy, and you have thing 1 sitting up here. The body is coordinating that through the nervous system. And Dr. Seuss was teaching that through the Inside Your Outside machine. So if you think about that through the times, I believe this book was written in 1987, but you go back to Cat in the Hat, you go to Green Eggs and Ham, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. You think all about how those things were created and written in regards to story literature for children to learn. We're teaching them the nervous system in regards to it. And this was written in 1987, all right? Think about that time frame of when that book was written. Chiropractic care was still a blip on the map. It was still the frowned upon thing. But Dr. Seuss was talking about the body communicating through the brain and the brain down to the body, creating that endless cycle. What's going on? When you move, muscles pull on your bones and help you. Turn your head, raise your hand, take a bite, and then chew. But what makes the muscles do all that they do? It comes from somewhere that also makes you laugh, cry, and achoo. So think about that. You've got all these muscles in the body. You think about all the powerful muscles, the tongue being the most powerful one. All right, the psoas muscle being the strongest one. All right, you have all these tiny little muscles that are going on in your body that do all the coordinations, the movements and things. What's coordinating that? Dr. Seuss knew, all right? It's the same things that are helping raise your hand, take a bite and chew. Same muscles are the ones that are coordinated, that are the same ones that make you laugh, cry, and chew are the same things. They're all coordinated by that one thing, that big supercomputer, aka the brain. How about this? We'll talk about another cycle, okay? Blood cells are 2 colors. There's red cells and white. If germs make you sick, that germ is in for a fight. A white blood cell gets ready the minute it meets it. It wraps that germ up and the white blood cell eats it. All right, so think about right now in regards to what's happening in society with it getting colder right now, okay? When it turns cold, we get sick, all right? Our nervous systems aren't cooperating with everything that's going out there. We get allergies, we get the sniffles, we get the coughs, the colds, the flus, all the muck that comes out there, okay? Our blood cells are coordinating things in regards to eating it and getting rid of it. So you have your red blood cells and your white blood cells. Again, we're talking about the cat in the hat right now, okay? He was talking about this. We're talking about how your white blood cells eat the germs that are in your system to get rid of them. What coordinates all that? Keep that in mind, okay? We've been talking about it all night. Here's another system, okay? Again, have a wild guess. Each time that you eat, the first thing that you do is put in your mouth, and that's when you chew. A tube, the intestine, is what food moves through. The food feeds your blood, which then feeds all of you. So you're thinking about those systems, right? Okay, taking a bite of something, the body has to digest it, passing it through as fuel out to everything else. That's a system, coordinated, right? To us, it's lunchtime. It's just something that you're going to eat, all right? But then your body has to then take it, turn it into fuel. It's a remarkable thing, the body, isn't it? When you look inside, you're outside. How do you know that it's time to eat is my question for you. All right? Is it something that you ever thought about? It's time to eat. Now, I know we can go 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock bedtime for our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I want you to think about what actually tells you it's time to eat. It's an important hormone in your system. It's called ghrelin, okay? Ghrelin. All right. So if we look inside through the inside your outside machine, ghrelin being a hormone being released. What do we know about hormones? Where are they stored in? They're stored all around the body. What coordinates a hormone release? The brain. okay? The nervous system telling it's time to eat. Release the ghrelin, grrr, stomach gets grumbly, got to release that ghrelin, okay, it's now time to go and eat. Fuel the body. One system talking to another system, and another system talking to another system, and another system talking to the big system overall, the brain upstairs, all coordinated by the nervous system. Lungs help you breathe and they can never rest. They're like two balloons inside of your chest. Lungs bring in air, which you can't live without. Its power source comes down from a very specific route. Do you know what specific route that is? Okay, so again, it's just about breathing, right? Cat in the hat. Breathing in, inhale and exhale. Okay, we do it regardless every day without even thinking about it, right? Subconsciously. You don't even think about breathing. I'll ask you this silly question. When was the last time you thought about breathing? Just now, I bet. But the fact that your body is just doing it, okay, is regulated through its power source from a very specific route. Have a wild guess what that is. Again, that nervous system, okay? So we're talking about how systems are talking to each other the whole time. Two systems all returning to that one mainframe upstairs. The Cat in the Hat was talking about this in 1987. Dr. Seuss got chiropractic right off the rip. And all he was doing was teaching kids, but he didn't even know it. All right? We've come to the end of our Ride It Is True, but there's still a lot that you can learn about you. Way deep inside of your body and mind, there's a lot going on every day, all the time. Your brain and your heart will guide all that you do. Someone special inside your outside. It's you. Dr. Seuss was talking about how that system was talking, okay? There's so many more systems that your body has that are regulated by that nervous system. It's a very, very important part that I keep talking about, the nervous system regulation. That's what chiropractors do. We talk about nervous system regulation. Checkups, okay? Think about when you go for your car, you take it to the mechanic for that checkup, right? That annual inspection, all right? You're using that car every single day. You're going to need to keep it finely tuned. All right. Chiropractors are just the mechanics of your body when it comes to it, because what we're looking to do is regulate, check, maintain what's going on with your nervous system. Your brain and your heart are going to guide you in all that you do because of the fact that the brain and the heart are two most important organs in your body. All right. So what coordinates it all? You are able to smell the rose. You're able to use muscles to chew and laugh. Breathe in and out air out of your lungs. Push food down to fuel your body, fight off colds and bugs and viruses, and there's only one answer to it all. I've been harping on about it all night. It's your brain, your nerves. We want our bodies doing what the brain tells it it should, but a question for you, all right? What could be interrupting it and cause it to be no good? It's misalignments of the spine. Like I was mentioning before about chiropractors, we're looking to regulate your nervous system. How do we do that? We check for these things. Misalignments of the spine, because when there's pressure on that nerve, that spine is then protecting. Remember I mentioned about the instrument of life, that case is the spine, the instrument being your nervous system. When there's misalignments of that spine, it's going to cause interference. Okay, what helps take away those misalignments? It's adjustments. That's what chiropractors do. We adjust the misalignments of your spine to get things in the right order so that nervous system can talk properly as we go forward. Adjustments are quick, they don't hurt, and they're fun. They're for kids, dads, and mums. In fact, they're for everyone. Getting adjusted lets our bodies heal, work, and play. But how do we track it and tell misaligned bones to stay away? So here's a really good question, all right? How do we find out what's going on? All right, we know that the misalignments are the wrong thing. We know that adjustments are the correct thing to make the nervous system work in its best possible potential. But how do we track it, okay? Is it just when people come in and they say, oh, my back hurts or I got this headache and stuff? Yeah, that's a big part of it, okay? Because that means that you've got to be telling us what's going on. But here at our office, we work really hard to show people what's going on in regards to their nervous system and how we track it. Is it getting better? How do we affect it? What's the pathway that we're moving forward so that that nervous system can be working at its best potential? Well, that's what this is. It's our insight station, all right? And it allows us the ability to look inside your outside. Okay, now we have our x-rays. I like to use the example, an x-ray is the hardware, okay? Using that big computer analogy, the hardware. You've got the screen, you've got the mouse, you've got the keyboard, you've got the fancy graphic board, okay? It's the physical, tangible things, and that's gonna tell us where the bone is misaligned. Now, when we dive inside your outside, we're looking to show you what the nervous system is doing. That's the software part of it, okay? That's the wires of the computer. That's the Wi-Fi signal that's spinning around, okay? That's all those things that you can't see that's going on that we have to be able to track. So if the X-ray is the hardware, the nerves are the software, okay? Our insight station shows us three different things. Our EMG measures the motor system of our nervous system, and it's the amount of energy that their muscles are using. They can be hyper or hypo. They can be more active or less active. The thermography measures the sensory part of it, the temperature of the blood cells, how it's affecting our other sensory symptoms. Sorry, other sensory systems. The HRV shows us the overall effect upon the body. Now, HRV is the gold standard of heart rate variability that cardiologists use to show stress. It shows how your body is in two states, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Imagine sympathetic is your gas pedal. It's going down the highway 100 miles an hour, all right? Parasympathetic is the opposite. It's your brake pedal. Now, I like analogies, so I'm going to give you another one. If you're going 100 miles an hour down the highway, it ain't very safe, is it? No, that's what the sympathetic nervous system is. It's your go system, all right? It's the get up and move system. You've got to have something to slow it down. Because if you keep going and going and going, you've heard the term, if you keep going and going, you're going to crash, all right? Burning candles at both ends of the day is a term that my mum used to use, all right? With that being the case, you can't keep going in that fast state. You have to have a slow down state. And that's what parasympathetic is. The HRV shows us that balanced system. It's going to show us that teeter-totter, where you sit. And in chiropractic care, especially here at our office, you're going to see the changes of one system and how we're going to migrate you into the other. Here's an example of it, okay? This is a 37-year-old patient of mine with arm numbness, poor posture, and she's always getting sick. So let's go back to Cat in the Hat. Let's go back to Dr. Seuss. We're talking about the white blood cells eating the germs. Her system's not working properly, right? She's in that go state, that sympathetic nervous system state, because her body is always going. When it's always going, she's going to burn out, okay? That being the case, here's what she was facing: the arm numbness, the poor posture, and the frequent sickness. After 6 weeks of care, she had improved immune system function, and her pain relief had reduced down. As you can see here, much improvement in regards to her sickness, numbness had stopped down, her poor posture and overall body function had improved. Now that was just her symptoms that she told us about. The insight scan showed me more. This is what this is here. So as you can see, we have three different scans. Up top was her initial scan. Down below was her secondary scan. So after 6 weeks of care, I believe it was, June into August. So about 6 to 8 weeks. All right. When we're looking at these scans, we'll start on the left-hand side. Over here is two sides of the scan. We ideally want to see this white dot in the middle of the green zone, which means it's nice balance. It's nice in regards to the teeter-totter system that the body has. Sitting before, she was sitting at about an 82, which is a really good regulated nervous system. But we increased that up to an 87. She's sitting in that green zone just now. In relation to it, we're seeing her thermal scan, okay, her temperature. Here it was sitting at 92, which is actually a really good score. We increased it to 94. As you can see, there's nice white lines in regards to it all upstairs, more so through here. The cool thing in regards to when it comes to her arm numbness and her poor posture is her EMG scan. As you can see, these thick bars up here are showing us a nervous system that's been interfered with. Those misalignments of the spine are impacting it, which is causing her body to get frequently sick. She's going all the time. I mentioned before about those sympathetic and parasympathetic. They live in two areas. The sympathetic nervous system lives in this area here, all right, in the mid-back. The parasympathetic nervous system lives down here and up here. Now, as you can see, where is that being impacted? Well, the scan told me that it has been impacted upstairs. That's her ability to slow down. Those misalignments were putting pressure on nerves that were doing a functional coordination, which is to walk and talk and see and smell and eat and do all those other things. But then when it came to her functionality, it was impacting it, causing her to get frequently sick. As you can see, after that 6 to 8 weeks, the reduction of those misalignments and that muscle tone has caused more even distribution here. So we took it from a 34 to a 77, which is awesome to see. Okay, so that's why we talk about functionality and symptoms. Symptoms suck. I'm the first one to say that. All right, but functionality comes after that fact, so that there is no arm numbness, poor posture, and frequent sickness, so that the body systems can talk to each other. All right. In relation to Cat in the Hat, we're all about activating the power. As we dived inside your outside, we found that by looking at the systems are coordinated by the nerves from the brain down to the body and the body back up to the brain. They're all interrelated. I like to use the example when we were kids, we used to sing the song, the toe bone's connected to the foot bone's connected to the leg bone, right? Remember that one? All of it is interconnected. So are the systems. The brain has to talk to every system in your body. The only way it can do that is through the nervous system. And so I like to say this, you have to activate your power. Chiropractic care does that. It regulates the nervous system so that your power can always be turned on. You can go a month without food, you can go days without water, you can go minutes without air, but you can't go 1 second without nerve supply. Chiropractic care is something that Dr. Seuss and the Cat in the Hat never even thought about, but they got it. Okay? That's what I love about diving inside your outside, is that you can get it based upon anything. And he got it, and so many more get it, but they don't know that chiropractic care is the answer. And so thank you all tonight for coming along. All right, understanding the fact of what Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss, and myself have come along to present to you tonight. If you have any more questions, guys, please let me know. We look forward to our next workshop, which is going to be our Spines Giving. It's Thankful for Chiropractic Care. We're going to do another series on how well our patients have been in regards to what they're thankful for when it came to chiropractic care, and how much things have changed in regards to what they came in with, what their scans were, and how much chiropractic care has helped. So we look forward to seeing you guys then.